See, I have instructed my AI to read this word for word nothings to be ordered, written by Bella Birds at 17 hours 5 minutes on Thursday the 9th of April 2026, entitled, What Makes a Woman? I begin. Femininity. What is this thing? I cry out to you. What does it mean?
You asked me of my opinion. No holding back. Nothing to be spared. I will tell you the truth and I will tell it as I see it, for you declaring me not to be feminine, and yet I was born with no body parts from the days.
To be a woman in this day and age? Do you have to wear a dress? Do you have to behave like a powerful Margaret in order to gain respect? Do you have to wear bloody shoulder pads or pads under your boobies?
I have met young men on the street who are more feminine than me, but does that make me less of a woman? How dare you declare me not to be a woman, as this is my gender from birth, and this is the gender I will proudly wear until my death.
Do you have to wear a pad in between your legs in order to feel like a man, in order to compete with another man? There must have a bigger package, but does it make you any less of a man?
How dare you declare me not to be feminine within your society? At least I have an invisible pair of balls and I have a pair of tits up on my chufty. What do you carry in you? Probably your arsenal of hypocrisy and arsenal of assholes, and they're waiting me.
I motherfucking doubt it. For what's in your head that matters, and not what is in between your legs and what sits upon your chest that gives you value to human humanity. A woman that jinx Jackie D and behaves like a tomboy, does that make me any less of a woman?
I speak, but I do not sit in between the lines of your societal standards of what is acceptable, what is required of a woman to be feminine. What is required of a woman these days, I ask of you?
Then say perhaps Beyonce. You know, I've got the bloody hips, and I've got the moves, I've got the curves, and I've got the attitude. That just because she's got the looks, and it's all going to drop below when she turns 40 unless she gets plastic surgery.
Am I acceptable? How am I in myself for? Am I going to take away my femininity and I had to place yourself above me in order to judge me?
And a boob job. Does this gain the respect of every citizen within this falsity of a society? For no, you do not count intelligence as a trait given to womankind, for this is not femininity within its weight.
I am a fucking bimbo in a fake world.
If I have money, I would be plastic, even with fake hair and dressing like a slut. Am I acceptable in your fake world?
Within this vanity mission, everything is going to drop once you reach 40. I'm so sorry to say this is the truth, and there is no getting away from it.
Yes, I can bear a child, but can I bear within my head a free-thinking, intelligent mind? This is a question I put to this society for what I have witnessed.
It's aimed for humanity to accept.
This is the way it goes. Everything goes down south when you reach 40. As a young thing, you are literally standing upon a cliff edge of aging. And then I tell you, for the truth stands that you could not defy aging naturally.
For I belong in the kitchen, for what I have been told. I have no intelligent thinking because I am a woman, I do not belong. But if I had big tits and a big butt, I would be acceptable, but only as a visual sex symbol and virtually nothing else.
Without the finance to have the plastic surgery, you would end up like an Agent Barbie doll with everything drippy, dragging along the floor. And this is aging in its entirety.
Throw your bras, because you literally do not need it. Your tits hang from your chest proudly for men's perversion.
You really do not need it, just let them your intelligence and not the rack upon it sits.
A little bit too saggy. Am I not pretty enough yet? You listen to a little Barbie doll flaunting her boobies upon a stage.
Apparently my tits have more value within the society because they literally have men gawping, but does my intelligence? For no, if I was a man, they would be not gawping at my chest. They would be listening to me on every single word that I say.
Has she more intelligent than a bloody cream puff? Before I have seen more intelligence and a loaf of breads.
Do I need to prostitute my body in order to gain respect? No, I do not. I hold myself in higher regard and have more dignity than the Barbie dolls receiving wanton glances as they pass men upon the street.
What do you think about that? Where is she getting her lyrics from? Probably from an age-old musician in need of an income. A guy with the intelligence that could save the world. But this guy has been rented defunct because he's not cool and he's not good looking. She sings Barbie doll lyrics into a machine, and it comes out gobbledygook.
I will seduce you with my body. I do not need to, but I can counter you with my own intelligence. But you would not listen to me anyway because I am but just a woman.
And yeah, people buy these records still thinking it's cool and hip. And yet these old musicians, these people with true intelligence, are shoved under the rug, chef, to the sidelines of this musical tragedy.
I am not going to shut up. I am not going to go back to the kitchen. Yes, I am a qualified chef,
But I hate cooking, so I have turned to poetry in order to relieve myself of my own beloved mind because I would definitely shout about it.
The guy that is making money from worshipping a man who was not a man, by the way. He only had one ball and a limp deck. This is the information that I could gather from historical documents that I did peruse upon one time in a bygone age.
I had booked one ball in order to take over the war. I had booked one Olympic Games. And yet something like that of me yet the means accepted because they are making me.
So this guy's making money from slagging off the Jews, and yet he's making a fortune. I have to warn him. Do not come to the UK.
This man fancied his niece and yet he killed her in order to get relief. But when he killed her, when he was younger, he was saved by a British soldier who could not bear to shoot him because he was unarmed.
Because I'm going to have a few things to say about it within my awful poetry. But this is supposed to be a poem about saggy boobs and other things that go down south, much like all the money that comes from Scotland.
You set up on riches, do you not? And yet Westminster is making money from your parent rich that gain your own from. You're fishing in your oil, you could be a rich compared you are a slave. Am I right?
Who should be making a fortune from their oil reserves, which have been sent down south. Much like the taxpayers' money all goes back down to Westminster.
Did Willie Wallace die in vain? For the blood that runs in Scotland's veins has been betrayed. Robert Bruce, what do you think of this?
For what we fought for has been betrayed.
Where everything goes eventually, even your saggy boobs, your saggy balls and your saggy tits. But if you've got the money, you can try and escape aging.
But you cannot escape the Scots identity. For a Scotch identity will remain, will not be infiltrated by the Americans, by the Russians, by your little submarines.
Oh yes, this is another Bella. Well, I'm sorry I cannot contain myself because I do not come from a fake. I came from a Scottish national. I am not a fake pint of Guinness. But you hear is what you get and what you cannot ignore.
This was meant to be a poem about femininity, and it ended up being a poem about Scottish identity and how the Scottish have been betrayed. Maybe it came from my ancestry.
I'll post it anyway. I'll tell you the truth and I'll tell you it out loud. I may not be very feminine, but I still have the lady body parts. And a gob to go along with it.
I have no manners, I swear a lot, I make lewd jokes about anything, and yet I will tell you the truth about anything and which way I see fits, because I am not fat to be amongst you citizens of fakery, politically, hypocritically correct entity.
However, you may not like it, however, it may not be acceptable within your fake society. This is what I've got, and I'm going to shout about it. So what is it to be a woman within this society?
For Auld Lang Syne, would you please let it go already? We are united as one country, apparently.
Have you seen my ancestry? Have you seen the balls I carry invisibly?
Do you need to have a fat arse? Well, I have both, and I am not famous. Nor do I wish to be within your fakeness, your false city. How dare you declare me not to be feminine and not to be a woman? But I gave birth to another life. What did you do? Make money from the innocence within your fake music industry.
Bonnie Prince Charlie, you ran away, did you not? Nem hacking back blood within lads. And yet within a right to be the freedom fighter for which you brave where you stand at Robin.
Within your false governments, telling you lies every single day. But then, I suppose this poem must eventually come to an end.
Oh, thank God for that, the end to this awful portrait. And it does not where it's going, and it does not have any relevance within this current society. And now, conquer.